So this video is going to be focusing on Luke chapter 23 verse 34. I'll read, let's see if I'll read up the King James first. I might have passed it, let's see. So the King James, then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they departed, and they parted his raiment and cast lots. But you see, it's not showing it in this one, so I'll have to do a Google search, and it'll be in the footnotes. So, from my understanding, the part where it says, see, it has that little B. Let's see, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And let me just see. It might show up here if I just go to the first one. So you see, when you're searching online, now you might have, someone out there might have one of the new versions in print format. But so it shows online, and you see that see footnotes. So we're online, and a lot of people use either Bible Gateway or Bible Hub for the Bible. And let's say they were, in this case, I just typed it in, and then I clicked on the first version that showed up. Maybe a lot of people do that. It shows the New International Version, and we read this verse. And again, it's all important. But the reason why I'm focused on this, it shows that Jesus forgives, and even though they were, doing all kinds of things like spitting upon him, spitting at him, on him, and hitting him, and taking his clothes, and he still forgave them. They didn't know what they were doing. This was happening so prophecy could be fulfilled, and they didn't know he was the Son of God, the Messiah, the Christ. And so you go to the footnote here, and you click on it, and it says some early manuscripts do not have this sentence. So it's basically saying, some of the early writings don't even have this, so it casts doubt on it. And I covered this before, where they do something like, I don't know if this should be in here, or it's not in the older ones. And it's, when they do this, it's important. This is the words of Jesus, and they just want you to think that it shouldn't be in there. And then people, unfortunately, trust these experts and think, well, they must know what they're talking about. I don't know some of these languages, and I didn't look at the manuscripts, and they just trust these people without even, really knowing much or questioning. And so I think there'd be a case in a lot of people that use the new versions and even promote them. We should, just like Jesus forgave those people that were, again, spitting on him, beating him up, and killing him. He forgave them. And I think in this case with the new versions, you want to try to, tell people what's going on, but at the end of the day too, hope that they receive forgiveness, and because I don't think they know what they're doing. So I'm not saying like everyone that's involved in this. I think some people obviously kind of know, a few people know what they're doing with these new versions, but I think a lot of people don't, and especially a lot of people reading them. So with that being said, you can still say and tell people about it, that they're doing it, and that's kind of what I'm doing. And you could do it either by telling them face to face, or sharing my videos, or sharing someone else's videos about it. So I'm just trying to do this, that they're casting doubt on the word God. And we covered this verse. Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. Now, again, this is the new English version, and if we went back here to the regular one, I mean, like I said, sometimes it's pretty similar, but then they put footnotes in, and a lot of times they remove words. So then Jesus said, and there's no footnote in the King James, so there's no footnote. It's in these newer versions that came hundreds of years later. So, use the King James would be my recommendation. And Otherwise, these new versions take things out. So one more time, Luke 23:34. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots.